Hello and welcome to the Sideline Vision podcast with your hosts Nick Rampe, Reece, Leddy, and Sam Dicus. Now, there's a big elephant in the room that's not even here with us right now, and that's Nick Rampe being out. Couldn't be here today, but me and Sam Dicus are going to hold down the fort. Sam, how are you doing today?
I mean, great. It's next man up mentality. You just got to be able to step in somebody's shoes whenever they're out of the starting lineup.
Speaking of lineups and speaking of basketball, we're just going to head in straight into basketball, starting off with the men's. So men's basketball beat Valparaiso last Wednesday, 78-77. I mean, another close game with Valparaiso. I mean, Valparaiso is towards the bottom of the standings, Belmont top. I mean, it seems we can't, I know you mentioned this earlier today, that we can't seem to really get past, really beating these kinds of teams. Or not beating, but beating them by a lot.
No, they just aren't really separating themselves from the bottom tier teams in the way that you would expect. When I'm looking at Belmont has a average scoring margin of 12 points in non-conference games. Conference, that's all the way down to 6. And it's still I'd say some of the opponents are kind of equal in skill level that we were playing earlier in the year. So I don't know if it's just, hey, it's MVC, it's Belmont, they're the top dog, they've got target on their back, everybody's going to give them their best. But our 2 losses were to bottom quadrant teams. We'll get into it later. We've beat the 2 through 5 teams easily, but then Indiana State and Valparaiso are giving us fit.
A player I did want to shout out this game is Owen Dillon. He's a freshman player. 23 points.
The guy's a baller. And I've talked to him a handful of times, and I've talked to Casey Alexander about him a handful of times. And he goes on and on about how mature he is for his developmental age and just how he is not scared to take the shot when it's time to take the shot, whether that's late in the shot clock or late in the game. He proves to you, I'm going to take the shot. More often than not, I'm going to hit it.
I was actually talking with Casey Alexander, not related to this game, but it was when they played Murray State, when they played Murray State, and we'll get to that game, of course. But I was talking to him about Owen Dillon, and something I saw in Owen Dillon is that he feels like when Lundblade graduates and he's off the Belmont roster, I feel like Owen Dillon is the next Lundblade. I saw a lot of Tyler Lundblade's playing style in him, and Casey Alexander is kind of I kind of agree with that. I feel like there's a lot of similarities between the two players.
Except he's also insanely tall. They always talk about Allen Iverson, would be the greatest basketball player of all time if he had 5 extra inches. Can you imagine Tyler Lundblade if he had Owen Dillon's post game? So he's a knockdown shooter. He's insanely clutch, and he makes the right read. He always seems to be one step ahead in a way that most redshirt freshmen aren't.
And then moving on to Murray State, this game was awesome. I don't know if you watched it.
I caught the recaps back home in Sparta.
I was reporting the game, and what a game. 103-86, if anyone is wondering. That is the first 100-point game Belmont has had since the Ben Shepherd days. They had a game against Tennessee Tech in 2022, I believe. It's literally 2 more days till that date. It was February 6th,
yeah, nearly 4 years to the day.
Yeah.
Insane.
And I mean, the defense in that game in the first half, there was a first minute where Murray State scored. It was 4-2, and then 8 minutes later, Murray State scored another one, and they were at 6, and Belmont was at 24 points in the quarter. And then Murray State kind of added up a little bit later, but even then, this game never felt like it was Murray State. It always felt it was Belmont's to win.
I checked in around halftime and saw the score, and I was like, are you kidding me? Because it was such a highly billed game. I know Murray State had been on a skid. They lost 3 in a row coming in, but still, it's Murray State. There was a lot of buzz about that game. And at the end of the game, I mean, everybody's just talking what a statement win that was. Lucky for you, you got to cover that. I mean, 103-86, and it to not ever really feel that close at times, that's just an absolute statement win for Belmont.
And Murray State, there's a lot of Murray State fans there, and I found that to be surprising. I mean, I don't know if anyone knows this, but there's a huge winter storm that happened during the week that people weren't showing up to places, and I was where I was reporting, because CBS was covering the game, they kind of kicked me out of the main table. I was kind of kicked to the corner, but I was kind of in the section with a bunch of Murray State fans, and I could hear more of the booing and the hollering and heckling of refs and coaches from the Murray State side than I ever heard the Belmont side, which was crazy.
That's insane that they managed to travel like that. And then I was at that game on the Saturday of the Storms. Let's see, that would have been Illinois State.
Illinois State, yeah.
And there was still a lot of people there. There was like 700 people at the game.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I mean, I talked to Casey Alexander after that one, and he was just over the moon that so many people made it work, that Illinois State came and traveled. So I guess weather is not a deterrent whenever there's good MVC basketball to be played.
And going back to the Murray State game, we had some incredible performances from our players. I mean, Tyler Leonard played first all 27-point game. That was his first 27-point game since literally the start of the year, like January 1st. But Drew Chernowski, he almost got a triple-double. He was one assist away from a triple-double. And in college basketball, you got 40 minutes to get that done. That's not easy work.
I remember, I think this is still the last triple-double in the March Madness tournament was by a Murray State player. It's John Morant. That's the last triple-double that comes to my mind. And I'm sure that there are others, but like he set career high in points, rebounds, and assists all in one game. And he has evolved so much just from the start of the year. Like watching him against Air Force and Tennessee Tech and those exhibitions, like he was starting, coming off the bench and stuff. And he's just so much more than a highlight now, where it's like, and if you were watching last night, you saw a highlight. Absolutely. I mean, he will put the ball through the rim with such ferocity. I mean, everybody loves Chernowski, but the touch that he's starting to play with, and the playmaking ability, and the rebounding ability, and the shot blocking ability. I mean, he's always played well in the pick and roll in my eyes, but I think that he has just developed in such a complete player that it's really good to see, and really encouraging going forward, not just the rest of this year, but the rest of his tenure at Belmont.
And spread the ball out. I mean, we had 4 players get into double figures. Like, I'm so glad seeing, or Aiden Noyes too. Aiden Noyes getting off the bench. His season, he's a senior, hurt a lot, hasn't played much. He's played 54 minutes. Up until that game, he played 54 minutes of playing time in the entire season. He scores 15 points in 16 minutes.
And that just shows you how deep this team is, where guys like that just aren't getting minutes. Like, it's an embarrassment of riches. Like, I'm looking here at the men's standings. Like, you're telling me 1-11 Evansville wouldn't love to have him right now? Like, Belmont is just playing really good basketball, and you can't just be like, well, Tyler Lundblade scored 27 and he, like, carried them to a win. Like you said, there's 3 other guys in double figures, including some that, like you mentioned, Noyes, that's just like, okay, well, go off then.
You'd think the absence of Orm and McLean would make such a huge impact in these kinds of games, and it kind of seems like they have to try and adjust. When McLean especially comes back, they have to try and adjust to his playing style again once he's back into the mix.
And I was concerned that they were not going to be able to spread the ball around. And of course, they have back-to-back games where they have 25-plus assists and less than 10 turnovers. Like their last 2 games where they've scored a combined 206 points, 50 assists to 13 turnovers. So I think they're spreading the ball out all right. But that is an interesting point where it's like when you're on a roll and it's so hard to disrupt the flow of things. But I think Nick McLean's such a talented player and so impactful on the defensive end that it's not going to matter. Like, he'll figure it out with this team. I mean, Orm figured it out last night. He had 22 points after missing Murray State.
Let's get to so another 100-point game for the Bruins. This is the first back-to-back 100-point games since 2021. So also kind of similar to their last 100-point game, except they had a lot more 100-point games that one season. But, I mean, you should talk about that. You were there. I mean, what was kind of the stuff you were seeing from that game?
It was just exhilarating. And I talked to Nick after the game. He was taking pictures, and he's like, that was the most fun I've ever had covering a game. And I talked to Coach Alexander about it. They were just passing the torch off. Like, you know what? You go on a little 5-0 run. I'll go on a 5-0 run. Like Jack Smiley, who I just absolutely love watching, came off the bench, scored 18 points in 17 minutes. They were plus 17 when he was out there. He played 17 minutes. That means for every minute he was on the court, they outscored the other team by 1 point. And after the game they played against Drake earlier in the year, where they came back down 25 points, I think one of the most improbable comebacks you'll ever see. For them to just come out and lay 103 on them, like it was incredible. I talked to Sam Orm after the game.
Dude, how about his return? Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
goodness. Like he was playing so well up until like 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And then he just absolutely hit another level. Hit 3 back-to-back threes, all off Smiley assists. And I was talking to Alexander about it. He said none of those were like get the ball to 14 or put it in Orm's hands. He said in the meetings we talked about pick and pop when he's got a certain matchup. And Jack Smiley had 6 assists off the bench, led the team in assists, and that's a freshman recognizing what he had been coached, what he had been told, and them just going out and executing. Like that third 3-pointer when it went through and they called the media timeout and he got mobbed at midcourt, what a feeling. And I talked to him after the game. You can tell he's a little banged up in the hip. I mean, he got hit pretty hard against Valpo, but to hang 22 points on 8 of 12 shooting, what a special performance from Sam Orm.
It's kind of funny, too, because I was talking to Casey Alexander after the Murray State game. I'm like, McLean, Orm, when are they going to be coming back? McLean, to be determined from Alexander, but Orm, he was like, it's going to be super short. I didn't realize how short it was. And yeah, watching it, you could probably tell he was still hurt. But I mean, you look at the stats and you're like, well, what's wrong with him?
Yeah, like you look at the stats and you're like, well, maybe we should bang up his other hip if that's what makes him play like this. I mean, he's had a fantastic year. He's such a glue guy in the corner. Like whenever the defense gets sucked in, like seems to always be in the right spot. But once again, like he just deflected everything. Like when I was asking him about it, and it was just team first, team first, team first. And either Coach Alexander has these guys really media trained or he's got them really basketball trained. I think it's probably a little bit of both. But like he told me, like 25 assists to 5 turnovers, you're not supposed to not win that game. And credit to them, they absolutely won that game.
All right. Well, let's head over now to women's basketball. Sam, what do you got?
Well, women's basketball, they're 12-9 on the year, 8-2 in conference. They're second place in the MVC. They had a game on January 24th. We've mentioned the ice storm. That's going to be kind of prevalent throughout this episode, I think. They were supposed to play Southern Illinois. That got postponed until March 2nd. Instead, last week, they beat Evansville 79-73 in OT and lost to Murray State Saturday 79-71. Evansville, that was the first game back for Jalen Banks after a pretty lengthy absence. She had 20 points for the Bruins, but on just 3 of 16 shooting, she went 14 of 18 from the line and missed a potential game-winning free throw in regulation. They got it done in OT. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how she does from the floor because against Murray State, I think she still went 3 for double digits. Like it was still not Jalen Banks as we know her. Like 14 of 18 from the line, that's great, especially in a game against Evansville when they went 30 of 40 from the line. They shot below 30% from the floor that game. Just nothing seemed to fall, but they got to the line. And in games like that where things aren't going your way, if you can get to the charity stripe, that's a huge advantage. Avery Strickland had a career-high 23 points in the win. And it was a pretty back-and-forth game, 14 lead changes, 13 ties. I mean, anything that goes to free basketball has got to be pretty competitive and interesting. But then going to Murray State, they got to be kicking themselves after this one. Like, very back-and-forth, 14 lead changes, 12 ties. They were tied heading into the fourth. And where they won at Evansville at the line, I'm going to say they lost to Murray State at the line. Belmont outshot them from the field and had less turnovers, and that should be a recipe for a win. Like, if you just tell me those two things, like, that should get you a win. But they just went 10 of 18 from the free throw line compared to Murray State, who went 16 of 20.
Yeah, they were almost automatic from there. I mean, any time they gave up, personal foul, that was free points.
Count it two. Count it two, and that's just so dangerous when they got outscored by 7 points in the fourth quarter where they went 6 of 12 from the charity stripe. Like, those are free points. So, like, get outscored by 7, you leave 6 points on the board. it's tough. They were heavily out-rebounded 43-31. They're really towards the bottom in rebounding, but they force a lot of turnovers to make up for that. So that's kind of a gamble on the defensive end, and I don't think that's a problem. I think the problem is 13 offensive rebounds for Murray State and 16 second chance points. So, I mean, if they hit 4 more free throws and give up 2 less offensive rebounds, it's, wow, we just beat Murray State. Instead, it's kind of a somber, like, how did we not pull that one through at home? And to say that they lost just by 7, shooting poorly from the free throw line, getting out-rebounded, and Tootie Jones being held scoreless. Like, I mean, and she distributed the ball well. 7 assists, no turnovers. Like, that is huge. But, like, Tootie Jones is so important to this team. Like, she's gotta get in the.
She had a similar game last time against when they played Murray State and they scored only 48 points. Tootie Jones had 2 points. Actually, I'm pretty sure that score sheet's wrong. I remember my score sheet saying she had 2 points at the Murray State game on Saturday.
Okay.
For whatever the website is, I don't know what it is, but basically saying she basically had the same game against the same team. And Murray State, number 1 right now, and Belmont loses on the tiebreaker if we're tied in records and standings. Either way, Murray State's, we don't have anything else for them to really get that number 1 standing anymore.
And I think Murray State's probably the best team. I mean, if they beat us by 21 at home, beat us 7 on the road, like that just makes them the better team. I think anything can happen in the tournament. I think Belmont's got a really interesting slate of games coming up. I think that was a more encouraging loss. I mean, anything's more encouraging pretty much than getting blown out and only scoring 48. But, I mean, like, there are certain things you can point to in the box score that said Belmont should have won this game. And very, very particular things you're like, that's where they lost it. I don't know if that was like it for you there, but, I mean, that's just got to be such a deflating loss once you feel like you got them on the ropes and just let it slip.
Yeah, for me, like, that game was like, okay, I don't know who's going to win this game. It could go either way for those first 3 quarters. And the fourth quarter happened, and there was just a lot of personal fouls, just a lot of people moving too quickly, a lot of people not really thinking. I feel like that's what kind of got the game away from Belmont a little bit. It's just the little mistakes added up in the fourth quarter for them.
Yeah, and I mean, like, hitting your free throws and boxing out are little things, and those are the things that you have to do to beat a Murray State. Those are the kind of things you can get away with against a Valparaiso or a Southern Illinois or somebody because, I mean, like, I talked to Nick about this on the Bruin Report. We're outscoring everybody else in the conference by 11.5 points. That just shows you when they're taking care of business, what taking care of business should look like. It's just they can't get over that Murray State hump.
Moving on to men's track and field and women's track and field, starting off with the men's. Both teams went to Louisville, Kentucky, and freshman Aaron Richer turned heads, placing 18th out of 82 competitors in the 800-meter open on Friday. Drew Brill also earned a personal best in the 3,000-meter, finishing with a time of 8:29 in 02. And in women's track and field, Friday also saw a personal best for Jennifer Mims and Carlota Salgado Garcia. Mims recorded in the 400-meter, where she ran a 56.76, and Garcia threw 10.35 meters in the shot put to earn her personal record. To end the day, freshman Sophie Nichols placed 5th of 59 finishers in the 3,000-meter with a time of 9:34.12. And on Saturday, another distance freshman, Alex Lancaster, earned a personal record in the mile, running a 5:34.68.
Great performance from track and field right there. Not too much experience running track and field. I'm not going to try and analyze that, but I mean, that all sounds pretty impressive. A lot of PRs, a lot of good stuff. And then taking that into men's tennis, they had matches against Chattanooga and MTSU. Both get postponed due to the storm. We've got a rematch against Chattanooga again on March 13th. But I'm disappointed they didn't get to play MTSU. They're a really good tennis program. I think that would really show where this team is at. Playing the teams that they were able to, though, they beat Alabama and A&M 7-0 last Saturday at home, made it back-to-back home, 7-0 wins. Just another dominant performance for men's tennis right there.
Which is just great for them. I mean, they had a really disappointing weekend going to Seattle, Washington, and not winning a single match. I can't imagine traveling all that way just to get out barehanded.
Yeah, Seattle, Washington, that's not just a skip across the pond.
Yeah,
like it's lengthy.
That's a lot of planning. You know?
Yeah, that's a rough trip back.
That's a lot of tickets. That's a lot of Southwest Airlines tickets.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. But to come back and to, that
Take
good
care of
for them.
business.
Yeah.
Take care of business at home, which you're supposed to do. And then women's tennis, not so much. They had their home opener against UAB get postponed from January 24th to February 1st, where they ended up losing 6-1. Graduate student Cielo Tapia Cruz got the lone set win. So women's tennis still trying to figure it out, just not really had the start to the year that I'm sure they're looking for. But as we'll get to later, I think that there's plenty of opportunities this weekend for them to right the ship.
All right. And then heading to our future focus, we'll go to men's basketball. They will be playing UIC on Friday at UIC in Chicago, Illinois. They should win this game. I feel like after these two games, especially, Belmont's the team to beat in the MVC, and these are games we just got to win.
You've got to beat UIC. Let me see. I mean, they're right now, they're fourth in the conference. They're 8-5. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're a really solid team. We just squeaked by them 88-85, I think, back home, or 87-84, excuse me. Yeah.
No, you're all good.
That was in December, midway through December. This is a totally different team than we were then. Trying to look. That was all the way back in like MTSU days, like right after our Richmond loss. I can tell you that Belmont men's basketball has grown since then, and they should go in and put the hammer down on UIC in Chicago.
And then heading to Bradley as well on Monday. A lot of games of basketball and not a lot of time for Belmont especially. What'd you see how many games there were and how many days they got left?
It's like, what, 7 and 19 days? I think that's what they were talking about last night. Like, that is a stretch right there, especially when you've got UIC, Bradley, Murray State, 3 of those first 5, all 3 of those on the road. I mean, you've got a Northern Iowa game at home. Oh, look at that. UNI 6-6 on the year. That's still a good team. So, I mean, it's just a really impressive slate of games that they've got coming up. Bradley, let me look at it. They're 3rd in the conference. We beat them earlier in the year. That was a while ago. They will get tested in these games. I don't see a game that I don't think that they can win, but I see a great preview for the MVC tournament, because you're about to see everybody again, everybody heading into the tournament, everybody in a really condensed time frame on the road a lot. Excuse me. This is where champions are made right here. Like, if you want to represent the MVC in the March Madness tournament, like, this is a slate of games that you show it.
I mean, yeah. Well said, Sam Dicus.
Thank you.
How about women's basketball? Who are they seeing?
Well, let's see. We've got Drake on the road Thursday at 6. Drake's 7th in MVC and 5-6 in the conference. We've already beat them on January 9th, 78-69. But Drake's offense is legitimate. They've got the second best scoring offense in the league. They're averaging 77 a game in conference play, but they give up 76 a game. So it's kind of it's going to be a shootout. Like, not too many games with Drake are hard-fought defensive battles. Like, I mean, you're going to have to show up and score. Last time they played, all 5 Bruins starters scored in double figures. Tootie Jones had 21. We're talking about her being a little sluggish against Murray State from the field and stuff. I think if she clicked against Drake once, maybe she does it again. She gets herself right there. But a huge thing right here for me, Hillary Fuller only played 8 minutes against Drake last time, had 10 points. She fouled out. She fouled out in 8 minutes. Like, I hope that was a typo or something, because, like, 5 fouls in 8 minutes is like Sam Dicus senior pro stats. Like, I mean, like, I can foul with the best of them. So, I mean, if she's off the court, that is a lot of scoring punch just sitting on the bench. So if that was right and she fouled out in just 8 minutes, like,
and she's been really good on the team as of lately. She's had a really good stretch.
She's had a great run. She's had a great run, and she is so hard to guard in the low post. She kicks it when she's got to kick it, but I mean, pretty much if the ball is in her hands, she's going to shoot over the top of you. And there's not too many people that can disrupt her. I wouldn't even say block her shot. I would say just disrupt her enough. I think that they're really going to need her to play well from here on out. She had a couple games, we covered it in the last pod, where she was like 2 of 13 from the floor, like 1 of 7 from the floor. And that'll happen, but I just think she's too good of a player to have those games consistently. And since then, she's responded in a big way. She's performed really well against Murray State so far when everybody else on the offense has kind of looked a little lackluster.
Yeah. And speaking of the Hillary Fuller 2 and 13 game, that's actually what's after Drake is UNI.
Yeah.
I think the key to that game is Sanaa Tripp needs to play the whole match again.
Well, she needs to put a mask on and go out there because
that was crazy.
That was insane. That was a great game.
That was such a great game. We had Tootie Jones out, and we're like, okay, so what's going to happen here? We're going to put in Sanaa Tripp. She's new. She's young, whatever. Goes out and balls out, 25 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds. Like, just what a game that was. I'm hoping we see a similar performance because this game was just overall a very solid game for the Bruins.
They played so well. I mean, it was 81-62 against a team that is in a 3-way tie right now for 3rd place. You got 3 teams tied right behind the Bruins at 7-4. So UNI's looking at that game like, is Sanaa Tripp going to score 25 again? No. Is Jalen Banks back? That's not good. They're going to throw everything they can because they need a win to separate themselves from the pack, and who knows how the rest of the slate's going to shake out. They'd like to have some sort of tiebreaker over Belmont if they can get it. If they get swept by Belmont, then that's going to hurt some seeding for them. So I think that they've got a lot to lose this game against Belmont, and Belmont's going to have to come in ready for that because UNI's defense, we were talking about it with Fuller, they're really, really good. I don't see the Bruins putting up 81 on the road against this team, especially since we shot 46, 50, and 83. 46 from the field, 50 from 3, 83 from the foul line. That's well above our averages. But I'm going to tell you, with Banks back, we're looking to make a statement after losing to Murray State. I think we're going to have to keep pace with Drake scoring the basketball. So I think that's going to be another good offensive performance for us that's going to feed into this UNI game. And who knows, maybe Sanaa Tripp goes off again. Maybe she just really doesn't like Northern Iowa. But I mean, when you beat a team by 19 like that, like that's just not a fluke. Like we were talking about it, I think at the start of the second quarter, you're like, are they supposed to be up this much? Because they started the game out 26-12 in the first quarter. I was like, no. Like, you're not supposed to hang 26 on UNI in the first quarter. I think, and you saw UNI came back in the second quarter. They actually took the lead in the third quarter. And then Belmont ended up winning by 19. It's like, what happened? They're just a really sound team, especially whenever things go wrong. When things go wrong, they can just get it back.
This game, the game against Northern Iowa, is going to be a game that's going to test their consistency and see if they are an actual consistent team by the way they play this game.
Absolutely. I mean, 19 points at home, that's a statement. If it's like a 2-point win at Northern Iowa, then you think about all these other teams just sitting here at 7-4, the Bradleys and teams like that, where it's like, are they for real? Like, they haven't kept up with Murray State. Are they for real? When they come to my place, I know I can get them. So I think these are 2 games where you're going to have to score a lot of points and go up against good defense, where you can kind of beat the field back. Where it's like, right now, it looks like Murray State and everybody else. I think Belmont wants everybody in the conference to be thinking, okay, it's Murray State, and then there's us that could have had them had the fourth quarter gone different, and then it's everybody else.
And then moving on to men's tennis. What are they doing?
They're heading to Louisville to take on the Cardinals. That'll be this Saturday at 11 a.m. They're 2-2 on the year, like you said, got absolutely shut out of Seattle, Washington, and then did the exact opposite at home.
Bounced right back.
So I mean, that's 500. That's 14-14. I think this is where it starts to show like what kind of season this is going to be. Is it going to be wild one way, wild the other, or are they going to find somewhere in the middle where it's like a 4-3, a 5-2, or even if they lose, like just a consistent loss from their doubles, from their singles, and everybody. And then women's tennis, they've got Samford Friday at 5:30 at home. Hoping that they can get there first right there. I think that's a very winnable match for them. I'm not saying it's a walk in the park or anything, but I think you got Samford at home. You have to like your chances. And then the website says we're traveling to Evansville, Indiana to take on Austin P.
I don't know how right that is.
I don't know because like we're not playing in a tournament or anything. And Austin P is a lot closer than Evansville, Indiana. So unless we're just doing a lot of useless driving.
Just a neutral ground site. You can't have any home field advantage for that kind of game, I guess, you know?
I guess.
The famous rivalry is Belmont versus Austin P.
In Evansville. I mean, that's how they do it.
Yeah. That's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever seen the Italian Super Bowl is played in Toledo. Like the Italian Football League, their Super Bowl is played in Toledo, Ohio. For some reason.
Like you're in Italy and you're like, out of everywhere in the world we can play this thing. We're in one of the most beautiful countries in the world, a country I want to go to so badly. They're like, let's go to Toledo.
Yeah. Let's go to Evansville, Indiana.
Yeah.
Shout out Ty Wellemeyer, by the way.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's just a game just for him. And then softball and baseball are returning. I won't cover baseball this week because they are not playing this weekend. They are playing the following weekend. They will be playing at Samford anyways. But softball is returning this weekend. They are playing the Red and Black Showcase at Athens, Georgia. And I got tired from looking at all these games. I mean, Missouri State, Fordham, and Georgia. Georgia right now is ranked number 20/15 right now. They're a great softball program, but I mean, this is going to be a weekend that's really going to display almost too early what this team is going to be. I mean, I say I'm a part of the team. I'm on the softball
Obviously.
team as much as anybody, but we're projected to be number 1 in MVC standings this season. I mean, we made the tournament last year. Maya Johnson ranked number 1 mid-major pitchers. This is a team I'm super excited for because, I mean, if last year we make the tournament, granted, we didn't make it very far, but we made the tournament, and that's an achievement within itself. There's a higher ceiling to this season.
Absolutely. That showed you what's possible. Like, nobody's expecting this team to just fall off the wagon, like the wheels fall off. Like, the problem with making it to the tournament is, all right, there's the standard. Like, you're trying to do what that team did last year and go further. And you're talking about this slate, man, 5 games in a weekend. Like, that's some travel ball stuff right there. Like, that's Georgia. I mean, that's a really, really, really good softball team. And I think it's going to humble our softball team a little bit, where it's like there's definitely a talent gap between us and Georgia. I think everybody can recognize that. If we play them close, like that's a huge win, especially early in the year. If we get blown out, it's Georgia. Like there's nothing to lose by playing in this. I think playing 5 games like that, it's an easy way to figure out your lineup. It's an easy way to kind of see what your team has really, really early into February. And as somebody that doesn't get to watch a lot of softball because he's played a lot of baseball, I'm really excited to cover this team this year. I'm pumped. I'm excited to watch some college softball.
And I think it's really good that Murray State we're playing them really early. I mean, they were a team that was in the MVC, and now they're all obviously switched conferences to Conference USA. But this is also just a good early display of what our competition is going to look like for the MVC. I mean, I don't know how much an organization can change in one season, just going from conference to conference. But those are 2 games I want to look at more keenly because I feel like that's a true statement of how we're going to do against our MVC opponents later this season.
Absolutely. I mean, that's kind of that's a comp. Like that is something that you can kind of be like, okay, we beat this team 4 runs. We beat this team 6 runs. They were up 3 runs until the 6th inning, then we came back. Or, man, our starter really went long against them, then the bullpen kind of lost it. Like that's a good gauge. Like that's really something you can compare yourself to. And baseball and softball are the 2 sports where early in the season, Like, you're just throwing stuff at the wall, trying to figure it out, see what sticks. Because, like, it's just hitting is just so difficult. Like, it's just such a difficult thing to do, and there is no good way to really practice it other than games, scrimmages, inter squads, and even that can just kind of trickle down. So, I mean, just the first slate of games is very, very important for any program, and I think that they picked a really good red and black tournament to partake in.
And with that, we are down to our final topic of the day, and I mean, what else is there to talk about this weekend? It's the Super Bowl. We got the Patriots versus the Seahawks. I mean, I guess we'll start off with the obvious questions. I mean, who do you think's going to win? Who are you rooting for?
Well, I think Seattle has the best chance to win unless, for whatever reason, Russell Wilson decides to come in at quarterback for one last play and Malcolm Butler is playing slot corner. Like, I mean, Seattle should have won this matchup the first time. And it's just, I'm thinking back to all the different Super Bowl matchups that have already happened, like Eagles and Chiefs. That had already happened, and they split. Patriots, Eagles. That had already happened. They split. I think if history repeats itself, I think Seattle
split.
I think they're going to split. Like that's just that's just such a pattern. And I know that's not vindictive of anything, but like it's just what I think of when I think of this.
It's probability. I mean, that's all it is. It's just theory,
Listen, that was just such a prayer, like such a fluke thing to happen, to not hand the ball off to Marshawn Lynch at the goal line and have Malcolm Butler, of all people, just pick off that pass. Like that is such a just like changing, like that just changed something in like the course of football history, where you just like, for non-Patriots fans, you're just like, okay, Seahawks, maybe get them back now. I think Seattle has a really good team. I think Seattle has a really, really good coach in Mike McDonald. His defense is just fantastic, even if they don't have like slam dunk defensive players. JSN, not going to try and say that. JSN, really, really, really tough to cover receiver. But I mean, I was reading a matchup like Patriots have the corners to guard him.
Yeah.
Christian Gonzalez, Carlton Davis. I think this game's gonna hinge on who's behind center. Like if everything is equal, everything's vanilla, everything is neck and neck. Who would you rather have, Drake May, Sam Darnold?
And you still got two quarterbacks that are still trying to prove themselves. Like
absolutely,
Sam Darnold, his entire career is, I don't know. I mean, they saw him last year against the Vikings, and he kind of butchered in the playoffs, and people said, yeah, that's what happens when you have Sam Darnold at quarterback. But this season, it's a whole different narrative. But he's still got to prove himself in this game.
Listen, I was so wrong about that Rams-Seahawks game. I mean, he outplayed Stafford. He absolutely did. And credit Matthew Stafford, he had a wild game too. But everything being equal, like if it was just player A versus player B, like I would have picked Sam Darnold in that game. He just played so well. He's got the oblique injury that he's playing through. But I mean, he just made it look effortless in a way that it's never really looked for him. He had a horrible stretch in the season where he was just bleeding turnovers. I mean, it looked like they still had Geno Smith at quarterback at times. Playoffs, he's played really well. The team around him is just set up where he doesn't have to be Superman. But I mean, he's got the arm of Superman. I mean, like he can elevate the game. He proved that NFC Championship game. I think everybody's just scared that like New York Jets, Sam Darnold's about to come out in the Super Bowl and like lose it for these Seahawks fans. Like play so well. It's such a great story. And then you stop right in front of the finish line. And Drake May, I mean, he's second-year quarterback, very talented. I'm going to be honest, I think he'll be back here at some point. It's not going to be the end-all, be-all. But I think if Sam Darnold loses the Super Bowl, it's just going to be like, well, that was fun. You know? It's just like, good try, failed number 2 overall pick, but like, you're still not the guy.
I mean, for me, as probably anybody who listens to this podcast knows, I am a big Patriots fan. I'm actually still wearing the Drake May shirt underneath my Boston Adidas sweatshirt. But basically, yeah, I mean, I don't think the Patriots are going to win this game. I'll give my unbiased opinion. I am not looking at this game with too much confidence. I think it is going to be a really good game, though. I think a lot of people think, from seeing the 49ers game, people are like, oh, whoever plays the Seahawks is just...
I don't think that's true at all.
I don't think that's true. I do not think that's true. I think I think our teams are very similar in ways. I mean, we both got two coaches who are the top two for coach of the year right now, taking these two franchises. I mean, Mike McDonald turned the Seahawks organization around in 2 seasons. Vrabel did it in 1 season. You got very similar headlines between the both defenses, still very strong defenses. The Patriots, I will say, though, their offense, despite, playing teams in the playoffs where their offenses weren't that great, we did play a lot of really good defenses in the top 5, and Seahawks ranked number 6 right now. So we are actually playing the lowest ranked defense we've played in the playoffs in the Super Bowl right now. Obviously, those are just numbers, and you can look at those and say all you want about them, but it shows at least that the Patriots still got a really good shot of making this game their own. Just the only thing for me is more offensively than it is defensively. I mean, when we played the Texans, or when the Patriots played the Texans, there was a lot of mistakes on offense that, Drake May could not take care of the ball. He had 4 turnovers because of that. Will Campbell was just underplaying, not hitting his blocks. I mean, he's showing still why he's a rookie still.
And in fairness, I mean, Houston has an insane defensive line.
Yeah.
Like Will Anderson, Daniel Hunter, like that's the best 1-2 punch in football right there. He's not going to have to go up against a superstar pedigree like that. But like you're saying, I mean, that's still troubling. Continue.
Yeah. But, I mean, we got Seahawks, they got Zach Charbonnet out. That's a problem. We got still Travion Henderson. Ramondre Stevenson, knock on wood right now, has not fumbled the ball since the end of the regular season. So I'm happy that he hasn't had his moments, because usually that's how the cycle goes. Is Ramondre Stevenson plays really good, he fumbles, Pats fans start hating him, then he plays a good game again. So there's kind of that.
It's kind of like Sam Darnold, where it's like you're just waiting for the oh gosh,
when is it going to happen?
When is it going to happen moment.
Yeah. I mean,
I think whatever team doesn't turn over the ball's got the best chance in this one. I'm glad you mentioned the coaches, the 2 Mikes. I love Mike Vrabel. I hope he wins the Super Bowl as a former head coach of the Titans, who I think never should have been fired. I love Mike Vrabel. I think he's done an incredible job with you guys. I think the Patriots have played a lot of tough defenses, so they're more accustomed to a slug it out kind of game, where the Seahawks have just been able to kind of roll over opponents. Even that close game against the Rams, I mean, they were still just scoring in bunches at will. I think this is going to be the Super Bowl I'm most excited about in the last couple of years, probably since the Bengals-Rams Super Bowl. Mainly, I mean, the Chiefs aren't in it, but also just because I think these are 2 very, very competitive, very comparable teams. I think it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, this one's going to be a lot of fun. Any score predictions?
24-21 Seahawks.
I'm gonna keep it 28-24 Seahawks.
Okay.
We'll do it the other way around from the last time. Yeah. Not super sure that the Patriots are going to win. This is going to be a tough game, but even if the Patriots lose, I mean,
you guys are light years ahead of where you're supposed to be.
We went from 4-13 to making the Super Bowl the next season. I am a happy camper. If we lost the first round of the playoffs, I would have been like, well, we still had a really good season. Like,
we have a quarterback that's second year. He's still on a rookie deal. We can still build a team. Like
in the ninth most or 7th most, something like that, with the most cap space out of any team. Still, we got so much room to buy assets, and just want to say, if this is where the season ends for us, win or lose, what a great season. What a great season this has turned out to be.
What a great NFL year. I think this was a really good playoffs for them.
Any closing remarks?
James Harden is a traitor. Like another year, another trade. It's just, I don't get it, man. He just has no loyalty to anybody. And, he understands it. He gets it. He knows who he is. He's the kind of guy that probably doesn't have a favorite restaurant. He probably goes to, McDonald's for food and Sonic for a drink. It's just come on, man. The Clippers are playing well. And, if they bottom out, then OKC gets their pick. What are you doing? I don't think he makes Cleveland better. I don't know.
Well, I think that it's hilarious that Anthony Davis went from being a Laker to a Wizard in the span of a year.
I'm a huge Luka Doncic fan, and I think Nico Harrison just every day gets a little bit more egg on his face, where it's like, all right, so basically this is Luka Doncic for Chris Middleton and two mediocre first round picks and a iffy first round pick.
All right. That's where we're going to end it. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you next week, hopefully with Nick Rampe, and he can react to either the Patriots getting their 7th ring, or he'll probably enjoy it if they lose. But yeah. Anyways, that's it from us. We'll see you guys next week.